The greatest trick that the devil ever pulled was convincing the world that he didn't exist. Those are lines from the famous movie The Usual Suspects, but I can't help but to think of that when I see this story in the news being completely ignored as the mysterious Jesus Campos and the mysterious Stephen Paddock. Their stories leave more questions than answers, and yet what the media is choosing to focus on is Harvey Weinstein touching young actresses, the NFL, whether a football player will stand for a song or kneel for a song, fires in California, and I understand that all of these are news stories, but meanwhile, the greatest massacre in American history occurred less than a couple weeks ago, and we have a lot more questions and answers, especially with the way this investigation has been carried out, not to mention firsthand accounts of people that were actually there reporting multiple shooters, including an acoustic analysis that was done that again points to multiple shooters, including eyewitness testimony after eyewitness testimony, including the fact that the FBI has changed their timelines 3 different times. There's a lack of surveillance video of Paddock even entering the hotel room. And oh yeah, Jesus Campos goes missing. And does this get any attention from the mainstream media except when uh, Campos he initially decides to do 5 interviews in a row, so you can tell that they're ready to get their story straight as he was ready to do 5 interviews in a row. Then for some reason the cord gets plugged and Jesus Campos vanishes and he's just gone just like that. Just like in The Usual Suspects, he just vanishes like a fart in the wind. He just vanishes completely. No one knows where he's at, and apparently the mainstream media doesn't even care. He's supposed to be the greatest hero in one of the worst shootings in American history. It would have been a lot worse had it not been for him. That's the story that we're being told. And for some reason, the hero of the story, we haven't heard anything from him. He apparently was shot. He was shot out 200 times, by the way, in the Mandalay Bay room there on the 32nd floor. He was shot at 200 times. One bullet struck him in the leg. One bullet did. Do we have any pictures of what this did to the hotel room? Did anybody else in the hotel room get shot? Do we have any surveillance video whatsoever? No, because the FBI, the feds, they're sticking to their timeline, so they're not going to give us a surveillance video. They're not going to give us an acoustic analysis. They're not going to give us a forensic analysis of where all the bullets were shot, even though they can do that. This was a legitimate investigation, but they're not going to show you any of that. They're just expecting us to trust their timeline, even though their timeline has changed many times. And so you see that they're really stuck in a corner here because you see that they can give you a forensic analysis of where every bullet was shot. They're not going to do that because that's going to prove multiple shooters, which everybody knows because that's what the first-hand eyewitness accounts are, not to mention for other obvious reasons. The other thing is that they're not going to give you surveillance video because if they gave a surveillance video, it would show that Paddock didn't carry all those guns by himself and that Paddock was not alone, and so they're not going to show us that. So the fumbling, rumbling, stumbling sheriff here is really stuck between a rock and a hard place because you can tell he doesn't even believe the lies that he's saying, and no one up there even looks convinced of anything that's being said. And so he knows he's stuck between a rock and a hard place. So my best guess here is that they're going to try to sweep this under the rug as quickly as possible. Whatever happened here, it was a big mess. It did not go 100% according to plan because there's a lot of holes here. So they're going to want to sweep this under the rug as quickly as they can and then move on. So don't wait to get a whole lot of information from this. Instead, truthers have to conduct their own investigations and continue to look into this. And we as the American people, we can't let this one go. This one was just absolutely horrible. And if anyone thinks differently or if anybody just wants to say, that that's not true, well, that's fine. Just go ahead and provide the forensic analysis where every bullet was shot. Go ahead and provide the surveillance video evidence, which we have not seen anything. We haven't even seen if Paddock was even there. We haven't seen anything surveillance video wise. And go ahead and give an acoustic analysis as well. By the way, all these things the FBI should be able to do instead of just looking creepy and standing behind the sheriff looking creepy. The FBI should be able to conduct that investigation and give us that information. And if it pans out, then everything is legit here. But if they do not provide this information, this was completely 100% a false flag. This is a Militant Prophecy channel. Have a blessed night.